What's up, guys? I'm Travis, and you're watching Upgraded RC.
Come on! Come on! Here we go!
Welcome back, everyone. I hope you all had a great Christmas. I hope everybody got all the upgrades they were hoping they would get. I also hope you had a great time with your family during the holidays, and your New Year's resolution didn't commit you to anything that's going to keep you from having fun in the future. Now, today is January 3rd, 2022, and we are going to be doing a recap of all of our videos and our previous upgrades from last year. Let's dive right into it, guys. So guys, our first video of last year was actually video number 10 of our continued upgrade series on the SEX 10.3 Gladiator. We installed the Holmes Hobby 550 15-turn Crawlmaster Sport into this beast, and I got to tell you guys, it was a very tight fit. I wasn't sure if I was going to have to remove the plastic radiator shroud and fan in the front to make it fit, but we were able to accomplish this by soldering our motor leads onto the motor sideways instead of straight on. That gave us just a little bit of room that we needed, and it did fit. I did not have to remove anything else. I left everything else completely bone stock. Now, we paired this with an 11-tooth pinion. Wow, this thing crawled great and it climbed great, miles over what the stock motor would do. The only problem I found with this, the only downside was that because it's a 15-turn, it didn't really have the punch that I wanted to get over some things that you get hung up on. Say you get hung up on a wet, snotty root or something like that. You can't really crawl over it if your wheel speed is real slow. So you need to increase your wheel speed and give it a little bit more punch to be able to get over that. That's where this motor is lacking. Other than that, guys, it bolted right up, completely stock, did not have to remove anything. I'm very happy with it. I love Holmes Hobby everything, and I think it was a great addition to this vehicle. Moving right along to video number 2, guys, it was one of my tech tips. We were talking about this proto shine here. This stuff is amazing. Whether you're one of these guys that likes to go out and film his RC adventures while you're crawling all over the place and you want your body to look good, or if you're just trying to get some of these little scratches out here that you got some dings or scratches on here and you want to get rid of them, this stuff really does work. Now, it might take 7 to 10 times to get some scratches out, but as far as just cleaning up your body and making it shine, it does really good. I've actually had people comment on my videos where they've seen this out crawling and they're like, your rig is so shiny, I can see you in the reflection in it. Well, yes, you can. There's not much to say about this Proto Shine, guys, but it really works. That's all I'm going to say about it. If you want to clean your body up, Proto Shine. So getting into video number 3, that was another one of my tech tips. And this tech tip consisted of us adding Holmes Hobby conformal coating to our SRS 515 receiver. Now, the receiver sits inside your receiver box, and it's got the little rubber O-ring that goes around it, and it's supposed to be all sealed and everything. Guys, it's really not 100% sealed, and the best way to feel safe about this and be confident that you're not going to destroy your receiver is to go ahead and put some of this conformal coating on here. It's real easy to do, and that video explains it very well, and then you've got all the confidence in the world to drive on the bottom of the lake bed or wherever you want to be. So I would recommend that if you guys are going to be doing river crossings, in the water, in the mud, just anywhere you got moisture. It's just a good insurance policy to make sure you've still got a good receiver when you leave where you're at. So for video number 4, we replaced the electronics in this Gladiator. Now, we replaced our receiver with the same SRS 515 Spectrum receiver that we just got done putting the conformal coating on and make it waterproof. Guys, I've used these SRS 515 receivers for quite a while. They have a great track record. They're very dependable. I can't say enough about them. I'll probably put them in anything I'm concerned about that I want to do 5 channels on in the future. It just, those 2 extra channels are great. You know, then you got an extra channel for maybe a winch or maybe your lights. And then I paired it with a DX5C radio. So now I can turn it on and off, and the sky is just the limit, guys, whatever you want to do there. Now for our ESC, we went with the Holmes Hobby BRXL with the built-in BEC. I can't say enough about this ESC. I love Holmes Hobby, everything, you guys know that, but he did a really good job on this ESC. I know that it comes from Castle Creations, But John Holmes did all of the programming to this BRXL, and he did a great job. The brake on this, guys, is just amazing. There's so many different settings you can do. There's even one setting on this brake called Holmes Hold, so it just stops it. I mean, it won't let it go down pretty much any hill there is. So if you have the Castle Creations link to this, you can go ahead and hook it up to your computer, and then you can completely program this ESC however you want to. The brake that I'm talking about, the drag brake, is just one of the many different programmable options that you have with this ESC, and it works flawless. John did a great job on programming this. It's nice and small, and yes, it is 100% waterproof. That really completed the package with our Holmes Hobby 550 15-turn motor. I was able to climb up vertical ascents a lot steeper than I could before, and as far as coming down the vertical ascents, I've got a ramp out here that's 45-degree angle. Before, with the stock drag brake and ESC on here, it came down okay, but with very little control. With the Holmes Hobby BRXL ESC, I was able to control this flawless. It came down so smooth, so nice. I didn't have to give it no brake, no gas, just strictly turn to come down the vertical ascent. It worked out really good. I would recommend the BRXL ESC to anyone. Yes, that's top of my list for any crawler. One of the first things you should probably do, get rid of the stock ESC, throw a Holmes Hobby BRXL in there. You'll be very happy with it. And it's pretty cost effective too, guys, compared to the other stuff out there. 109 bucks. I think it was worth it all day long. So getting up to number 5 here, guys, it was time for us to take a break. I've got a crawler course in my backyard that's got all kinds of rocks and rope bridges and teeter-totters and tunnels and just all kinds of stuff. We had a great time on that. I've also got a basher course in my backyard where I built a 5-foot tall jump, and then we made the landing ramp about 20 feet away from that, and it's got long straightaways, and I invited all my friends out. We had a great time crawling, and probably too much of a good time on the basher course. I ended up almost taking out my friend Albert by basically jumping right over the top of him. If he would have stood up, I'd have probably taken him out, but we had a good time. It was a good break, and you guys should probably watch that. You'll get some good laughs, and you'll get to see some of our crawlers in action and some of the bashers just doing their thing, having a great time. Working our way up to video number 6, guys. That was a great day for me. That's the day I brought home this RR10 V2 bomber from my hobby shop. Now, I love this thing. It's such a great platform. It's got so much potential, so many possibilities, and there's a ton of upgrades out there for this. Now, this is not a crawler, and it's not a basher. This is classified as a rock racer, which is kind of right in between. Yes, you can make it a crawler with the correct upgrades, and yes, you can go bash with it and flip it over all you want right out of the box. Now, if you guys remember, once I took it out of the box and we went over all the pros and cons, I was getting quite heated, very upset with Axial. I couldn't believe that they took and put black plastic links on here. All of the steering linkage was plastic. All the control arm links were plastic. I mean, that's just crap, guys. That's embarrassing. I can't believe they took such a great platform and just ruined it by putting crap on here. I mean, I guess they were trying to save 15, 20 bucks. I don't know. Since then, I've fixed that. One of the other cons on here that I really hated was the fact that they didn't put any anti-sway bar on the back. It didn't come with anything. I guess there's $5 anti-sway bars from Axial that you can buy and put on here, and it fixes your problem. But why didn't they include that in the kit? I mean, how much does it cost to print out a plastic anti-rock sway bar? You know, I mean, it's just, it blew me away, guys. I was very upset and very heated with Axial. Actually, if you're listening, please don't do that no more. Stop with all your plastic crap. Let's go with some real stuff. So, moving right along to video number 7, guys, which is actually our first upgrade to the bomber in our Bomber Upgrades series. Guess what we replaced? We went ahead and replaced all of the linkage on it everywhere. We replaced the steering links. We replaced the stainless steel links. It made it such a much more stable platform. I mean, before, when you would go up to the rock and you'd put your tire up against a big rock here and try to turn and climb up it, guess what? Your tire doesn't turn and climb up it. You can actually see the plastic steering link bowing out back and forth like this. It was just so upsetting. It was just embarrassing, just terrible. I can't believe they did that. Well, guys, we fixed that. We went ahead and replaced all these links, like I said. Now, the links that I replaced this with was the Vanquish Incision stainless steel link kit. Cost me about 40 bucks. Came with both steering links and all the other control arm links with the exception of these two links back here. Now that brings us to our next video, which is video number 2 of the upgrades to the Bomber. We went ahead and replaced the rear links with some of Vanquish's trailing arms. What would that do for us? It stretched out the rear end just a little bit, made it even a little bit more stable than it was before, and now it's pretty much indestructible, getting rid of those black plastic links on the back going to the axle. I mean, these things are almost like sliders, guys. I can slide right over rocks. They really do help me get over a lot of stuff. I think the stainless steel links would do quite a bit too. I just really wanted the extra stretched out length on these trailing arms, and also I really like the way that it looks. Besides that, the shock mounts directly to the trailing arm, and there's 3 different positions. Now, that's awesome, but it also caused one problem, I should say. Right here on the bottom where you can change out your shock to these 3 positions, they left this open. So every now and then I'll get a stick that hangs up in there, or I get caught up on a little sharp rock or something. I'm eventually going to take and put some hard compressed foam in here and seal it up somehow so that I can slide right over stuff just like I want to do. Other than that, they're great. These are also the only trailing arms out there that are rebuildable. You can buy the parts that go in the ends, the little sway joints, heim joints, and you can replace those. So I thought that was awesome as well. Curie does a great job, and this kit right here was about $45. I'd recommend it. Moving on to the next video, which would be number 3 of our upgrade series for this Bomber, we went ahead and put that anti-sway bar on there that they did not have in the kit when it comes stock. Like I told you, you'd be moving along at any decent speed at all and just try to turn, and this thing would just flip right over it. It killed the performance on it. It took all the fun out of it, and that pissed me off as well. Don't do that anymore either, Axial. So we went ahead and we put these Curie anti-rock sway bars on here with the quick disconnects on the back, and I mean, it made a world of difference. Now, there's a lot of people out there that say that this will not fit the Bomber. It takes a little bit of modification, and I did make it fit the Bomber, and it works great. So if you guys are interested in putting these sway bars on your Bomber, go watch the video. I'll show you how to do it. Even though they say it doesn't fit, it does fit. It's real simple. It's not a hard fix at all, and it took all of that play out of there. So now when I go around a turn at a decent speed, it doesn't flip over like it did before. It made it even that much more stable. So between the steering links, the control links, the trailing arms, and the anti-sway bar, that completed our platform to make everything super stable, and it made me very happy, and it made this thing a whole different rig, guys, all day long. If you're concerned about that or you have stability issues, go do these things. It will definitely take care of it. So the other thing, guys, is this Curie anti-rock sway bar has 4 different mounting positions in it for the rear link that goes to the axle. So if you put it on the furthest link where I have it right now, that gives you the most amount of down travel for your axle. If you put it in the front, it gives you the least amount. Now, why did they do this? Well, they don't know what kind of links you're going to put on here. They don't know if you're going to put the Vanquish trailing arms on here or the stainless steel links, or maybe you're still rocking those black plastic links. God, I hope you aren't. But if you are, they made positions available for you so that this anti-rock sway bar would work pretty much with anything. It's a great product, guys. 2 thumbs up all day long. I would definitely recommend it. It just gives you so much more stability. Moving on to video number 4 of the upgrades for this Bomber, guess what it is? We went ahead and replaced that stock Spectrum S614 servo with a Reefs Raw 500 servo. Now, this doubled the amount of torque and the amount of pull that we had. It's also a lot faster servo. It's waterproof. It fit great. No problems at all. No complaints with that whatsoever. It just made everything so much better. The Reefs Raw 500 servo is amazing. I would recommend that all day long as well. Now for our next video coming up, video number 5 on this continued upgrade series on our Bomber, we went ahead and replaced our motor. We changed it out with a Holmes Hobby Pro Series Torque Master 540/27 turn. Now before we did that, I got my hands on a Holmes Hobby Crawlmaster Sport 550 8-turn. Remember I told you the Crawlmaster Sport 550 15-turn we put in the Gladiator was a really good crawler, but I just wish it had a little bit more wheel speed, a little bit more punch to it. Well, this 8-turn gave me that. And I decided to drop it right in this bomber as its first upgraded motor just to see how it would do, because I wanted my bomber to have a little bit more speed than the Gladiator, but still have the ability to get over obstacles. So we dropped that 8-turn in there, and it lasted me about 30 minutes before I burned it up. That's why I didn't do a video on this. Now, this was not the fault of Holmes Hobby, okay? This was my fault. I burned it up trying to crawl with this motor that has way too much wheel speed for that and not enough torque to get up stuff. And as I was just trying to get up the hill, back and forth, I'd go up and it'd come down. I'd go up, it'd come down. Well, after so many times of doing that, I seen a lot of smoke coming out from underneath the hood and realized I had burnt that motor up. So we went ahead, and like I said, we dropped a Holmes Hobby Pro Series Torquemaster 540 27-turn in here. Now, that was not the motor that I was wanting to put in here, but it was the only one my hobby shop had at that time that kind of was along the same lines of what I was looking for. The Pro Series motors are awesome, guys. You can change out the brushes on them. You can change out the bearings on them. Other than being able to replace everything in there when it goes out, is they're hand wound by the Holmes Hobby guys, by John and his other guys in there themselves. They're hand winding these motors for you, so they come out perfect instead of letting a machine do it. It's such a smooth transition. I can't explain it, but when you go from, say, the regular Torquemaster Sport to the Pro Series Torquemaster, it's night and day. It is completely different. It is just so smooth is the only word I can really come up with for it. I love that motor. It worked really good in here. It just so happens that I had a crawler comp coming up the next weekend after I put this motor in, and I took my Gladiator and ran that, of course, but I decided to run Class 3 with the bomber here and that motor in there, and it crawled great. Everybody was impressed by it. I actually had a friend say, wow, I've never seen a bomber actually crawl before. It worked out really, really good. I love that motor. Now, since then, I have taken that motor out of here and put it in the Gladiator because I thought it was such a good crawl motor, it deserved to be in a good crawler. So we've changed this motor out several times, but that was a really good motor, guys. If you're looking for one of the Pro Series motors from Holmes Hobby, the Torquemaster 540 27-turn gives you all the wheel speed that you want, plus it's such a smooth crawler. It's a great motor, that's all I can say about it. And it's a little bit smaller than the 550, so it fits a little bit better and weighs just a little bit less. 2 thumbs up all day long, guys. I thought it was great. Like I said, since then I've replaced, this has actually had 4 different motors in here since the stock one. And that's not because I burned all of them up. It's just because we put things in here. I show you guys how to install them. I show you how to adjust them. And then we do reviews on them. And then I take it out and I'll put a different motor in there to try something else out. So that's why we're going through all these different parts. That's what Upgraded RC is about, is upgrades. And I try everything, and I want you guys to know through my reviews and stuff how it works out before you go buy it. So anyway, that motor was awesome. Let's move on to the next one.
There it is. I got it, dude.
Really?
Snap.
Really?
Here, I'll do it again. Just
Okay.
It was too easy for the camera.
Do you want me to grab the camera and get some real good footage of it? Okay, that's it.
Stepping up to video number 6 of our bomber upgrades, we decided to go ahead and replace the axle shafts in the front axle. We're replacing the stock Dogbone Drive Cup style axle shaft with Axial's OCP Universal shaft, which is a CB style shaft. It works so much better, guys. I don't know if you're familiar with the dog bones. They've got the little pins sticking out the end that slide into the slots in your drive cup. Well, those slots in your drive cup, as the pins rock back and forth because it's not a very good fit, it eventually wears out the drive cup to where your dog bones, the pins just pop right out. It's a common problem that a lot of people have, especially if you have an aftermarket radio and you've turned your steering rates up so that you can turn further in either direction. You'll just pop that dog bone right out left and right. I'm sure you're very familiar with that problem. I didn't want to have that problem, so we went ahead and replaced these. Plus, it's a lot harder, hardened steel shaft, number one. Number two, it will turn up to 50 degrees for your steering, which is 60% more than the stock ones, guys. That's a lot. It worked out really, really good. They're super simple to put in, pretty hard to break, and it didn't cost me that much. I think they were around 25 bucks. So I would recommend that also. That way you can have a better turning radius. You don't have to worry about them damn dog bones popping out, or even if you want to keep your steering radius the same, eventually you will wear out that drive cup and your dog bones will still pop out. So that was definitely a good upgrade, a cheap one, and I would recommend it all day long. Moving up to video number 7 of our continued upgrade series for the Bomber, guys. It's going to be suspension. Now, I've got a lot of videos out there that have to deal with suspension on RC cars where I'll take the stock ones off and I'll put aftermarket on there, or I'll put different parts inside the shock and we'll adjust them all. You know what? The stock ones, the aftermarket ones, every shock I have ever put on any RC car leaks oil. These are the Proline Power Stroke series shocks. They do not leak oil. I can't believe I haven't leaked one drop out of here. I mean, I put this thing through its paces. I beat the hell out of it for almost a year now, and I have not seen one drop of oil come out. It's got to be due to the nitride-coated shaft and the double X-ring oil seals that they have in there inside the aluminum housing. It just seems to work really good. It does not leak. Now, besides that, this aluminum housing they have here on the shock, the threads for your preload go all the way to the bottom of the housing. Most shocks only use half to 3/4 of the way. These guys go all the way, so there's plenty of adjustment there. Besides that, this is a dual spring rate setup. It's got a smaller spring on the top, separated by a piece of plastic, and then you go to the lower spring on the bottom that's quite a bit bigger. So the smaller spring on the top takes up all your small bumps and just gives you such a nice smooth ride, whereas the bigger lower spring on the bottom is all about compression. So that takes up your jumps, it takes up all the bigger bumps and just makes everything a lot better. Proline makes a kit for these that has, or I should say a spring pack that has 6 different spring rates in it. So you've got 6 different lower springs and 6 different upper springs, so you can adjust this however you need to for whatever obstacles you're trying to get over. They just work really good, guys. Besides that, these Power Stroke shocks have just a little bit wider diameter to the springs and the shock itself, so it's a little bit bigger footprint, better for compression. I can't say enough about these shocks. These are the best shocks I have ever put on any RC anything. They work great, they're fully adjustable, and they do not leak. That is amazing. Now, they also make a 5-inch shock that goes right here in the back, so you can run 2 shocks in the back on your trailing arm if you want to, and get rid of this anti-sway bar. Maybe you don't even have the anti-sway bar yet, but if you put 2 shocks on here, it's going to give it a lot more stability. It's almost doing the same thing as the anti-sway bar. I can't say enough about these shocks, guys. These shocks are great. 2 thumbs up all day long. Definitely the best shocks I've ever installed on any RC car. All of my future upgrades on different cars are going to probably have these shocks on them because they work so well. We're up to video number 8 now on the Bomber upgrade series. Video number 8 consists of us putting a BEC into this car along with the stock ESC. What is a BEC? A BEC means battery eliminator circuitry. So if you guys have put a bigger motor into your car, or especially you really notice it when you put a bigger servo that's got more power, more torque, more pull, it seems like the servos will rob you from getting enough battery or power to the motor. So you'll get this glitching, and some of you are probably very familiar with this. You'll go and you got a stock car, you change out your servo, and now the steering glitches or the motor glitches. Something is just not right. It's not happy the way it was before. So you put this BEC in here, and it just goes in line with your battery and the ESC so that it gives the power, it distributes the power where it needs to be. That's about the most I can say about that. They're pretty cheap. They're like $21 for a BEC. If you plan on upgrading your servo and don't have a BEC in there, or you don't already have an ESC with a built-in BEC, then you're probably going to want to purchase the BEC separately so that you can distribute your power more evenly and get rid of all your glitches. It worked great. The one I got was a Castle Creations BEC. Like I said, it's pretty cheap, around 20 bucks. I've had 0 problems with it, and it works great. 2 thumbs up on that also. All right, up to video number 9, guys, on the continued bomber upgrade series. In video number 9, we're replacing the ESC in the motor with a Spectrum 130 amp Firma Smart ESC and brushless motor combo. The brushless motor that came in my combo was a 1900 kV brushless motor. It works really good, guys. I definitely get more speed out of it for sure, a little bit more power, and I believe the battery lasts a little bit longer. That's kind of hard to tell because, I mean, these batteries last for like 3+ hours anyway, but I think it was a little bit less draw on the battery, so it would last a little bit longer with the brushless motor. There's no brushes dragging it down. Now, I'm kind of a Holmes Hobby fan, and I really like the smoothness that I get out of all the Holmes Hobby products. This is not very smooth. This setup is great for going balls out and jumping over rocks and all kinds of stuff, but if you really want to go slow and you plan on trying to crawl up something, or you're just taking your time, you're going to get that whistling sound. You're going to get that cogging when the motor is just barely turning back and forth. It's just not a very smooth setup. I did this because the Spectrum Smart setup, the Firma, is one of the only ESCs that comes with a programmer that you can use on the fly, right out in the field. You don't need a computer, a laptop, nothing. You can just plug this directly into this link that goes direct to my ESC. And I've got, I think it was about 14 different settings I have on here where I can adjust the drag rate, I can adjust the punch rate, I can adjust the brakes, I can adjust all kinds of stuff on here. I thought that was really cool. That's one of the reasons why I got this. I wanted to do a review on it. I wanted to try it out. And it's a great motor and great ESC, and the programmer is really cool. But if you're into Holmes Hobby stuff and the smoothness that you get out of it, you will not get that out of this motor. I will be eventually taking this setup back out, and I'm going to throw a different ESC in here and a different motor that is brushed, that's going to give me what I want. I believe that this is not the setup that I wanted to put in here. We just wanted to get it and try it out and do a review on it because it's the only one out there that's got its own programmer. So that's kind of what I'm going to say about that, guys. And video number 9 is a 2-part series. The first part shows me installing it and how you adjust everything. The second part is actually plugging in the programmer to the link that you've set up on the ESC and adjusting everything from there. So if you're into that, there you go. It's a super simple, easy way to adjust stuff on the fly. It's a really cool setup, great idea, just not really for me. But like I said, that's what we do here at Upgraded RC. We do reviews on everything. There it is. I'm giving you the review, telling you what I think about it. Let's move on. Okay guys, so our next video is actually video number 12 on our upgraded series for the Gladiator. We went ahead and took that stock Spectrum S614 servo out and replaced it with the same Reefs Raw 500 servo that I told you we put in the Bomber. I just had such good results with the Bomber and that servo. I really wanted to put it in here and get all that extra torque and the extra speed that the 614 doesn't have. Now, that video is basically me installing this, and it does fit, but that cover on the front, the radiator shroud slash fan cover slash cold air intake, whatever's right there, it fits, but you're probably gonna have to take an X-Acto knife and trim around the wire that goes to the servo right there so that it fits a little bit better. It was pinching that wire. I was kind of worried about it. And with all the upgrades I've done to this, and I was able to keep the stock radiator shroud and that fan, you know what? I just decided to go ahead and take it off. It's just one Allen going through the center of the crankshaft. It removes the whole piece. Now there's no plastic piece binding on my wire. I'm worried about it ripping it or breaking it or anything. It fit really good that way, and it works just awesome. I can't say enough about these servos. The Reefs guys are just great. Like I said, if something happens to this servo, I can just take it right back to my hobby shop and they will replace it with another one. I don't have to send it to Reefs, guys. They'll take care of it and send it to Reefs. That's what's so awesome about Reefs. They take care of you. You don't even need to send it in. Just go back to your hobby shop and get another one. I think they're great, but I have not had any problems with the Reefs Raw 500 servo at all. It works really, really good. That's about all I can say about it, guys. Reefs Raw 500 servos, thumbs up all day long in the Bomber and the Gladiator and probably whatever else you put in it.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, you go, Bob. How are you? How are you doing? Oh, you know, Get in the way.
Now our next video was on the Eurevo 2.0. We went ahead and replaced the black stock plastic control arms with these Traxxas green plastic control arms. Now I was told by the hobby shop that these are supposed to have an upgraded material in them. The nylon's a little bit stronger. I have been since told by other people that there is no difference, they are only green. Well, since I've never broken any of the black control arms or the green ones, I can't really tell you which one's stronger. To me, it does feel like there's just a little bit more flex out of these green ones than I got out of the plastic. I'm not sure, maybe it's just me, but after I put these in, we went out and bashed the hell out of it and jumped it and stuff, and they worked really good. I have no complaints with them whatsoever. In that video, I also revamped on the steering knuckles. We went ahead and rebuilt all the pivot balls and everything like that. I want to show you guys how to do that again. I've got another video that shows that, but this one is a little bit more updated, and I kind of bounced around a little bit, and it's a little bit quicker video for the steering knuckles if you guys are interested in that. Well, after that video, me and my wife decided to go ahead and go up to the Grand Mesa, which is just outside of Grand Junction, Colorado. Now, the Grand Mesa is one of the largest flat top mountains in the world. It has over 500 miles of trails and roads up there that you can drive around on. There's also over 10,000 lakes, not to mention all the trees and the green grass, and it's just a beautiful place to go. Down here in Whitewater, Colorado, where I live, it was about 100 degrees that day in the middle of July. We went up there and it was right around 80 degrees. So it gave us a little bit of break from the heat. We went ahead and threw all of our stuff into our side-by-side, our Gladiator, all of our video equipment and everything, a picnic lunch, and we went up there and had a great time. And that video is just basically showing the Grand Mesa to you guys. If you're interested in getting up there and want to crawl, it's like one of the best places in the world to crawl when the weather's right, guys. Now, when the weather's wrong, I wouldn't want to be up there. But when it's really nice outside, there's all kinds of creeks you can crawl in. We crawled over tree stumps. There's lots of rocks. Like I said, there's grass. It's just a very, very beautiful area. So if you haven't seen that video yet and you're interested in crawling different places, maybe watch that video called Crawling the Grand Mesa, and you can see every place we went and what we did, and it's a good way to try to plan your trip if that's one of the places you want to go. So the last video we did for the 2021 season is called Should I Vent My Tires? I did this video because a lot of people were asking me if I vent my tires and what kind of foam I'm running. So we did all these tires a bunch of different ways. We did it vented, not vented, with foam, without foam. We did the Nitos, we did the Hyrex. We did these tires a bunch of different ways to see which one would give us the best result, the best traction. We ran up very steep ramps, we ran over rocks, different obstacles, just to try to see what we would get, the results from the different ways that we did this. And you know, guys, there is no right or wrong way. I personally do not vent my tires. I like to go with a softer foam that kind of simulates me venting my tire, because that way it compresses and I get a wider footprint and better traction. I don't like to vent the tires because of the mud and the debris and the water that can get inside of them. We also discussed venting your wheels so that you don't have to put holes in your tire. It's just a great video if you're interested in how you should set your tire up based on what you're trying to do and the results you're trying to get. Like I said, there is no right or wrong way there. I even had one person comment back after that, got done with that video, and he said he runs 200 BBs in each tire, and that's like perfect for him. So that's coming up. I'd like to really try that and see how that works, as well as I'd love to do a tire shootout with different tires and different foam. And we'll just see how everything goes. But the end result of that video was there is no right or wrong way. It's just whatever works best for you. Well, guys, with that ends our 2021 season. I really want to thank all you guys for taking the time to watch my videos. I do this for you. I love seeing people learn and get the knowledge that I can give them so that it helps them experience a better project or a better RC adventure, whatever you want to call it. I love all you guys. I think you're great. Thanks for watching. And we got a whole bunch of stuff lined up for the 2022 season. Don't miss it. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. This is not going to stop anytime soon. I will keep purchasing RC cars, and I will keep doing upgrades. That's what we're all about. So you guys can see what worked, what didn't. Maybe you like this, maybe you didn't. Go ahead and comment. Let me know what you think of this video. Let me know what you think of the other videos. I got no problem listening to anything that you want to say, guys. If you have a question, don't hesitate to ask. Just comment in the section down below, and I will get back with you. It may not be right away, but I will get back with you. Other than that, I don't know. It's pretty cold outside here right now, guys. January 3rd, we're at 5 degrees right now, and there's snow on the ground. I don't know. I might go play with the Eurevo a little bit. I'm not sure, but you guys go have fun. Go bash, go crash, go crawl, go have a great time. And if you haven't joined my channel yet, I have an upgraded RC bashers, crashers, and crawlers group on Facebook. You can go there and join that, and then you can talk to me one-on-one. We can have conversations. We can answer the questions for you. There's a lot of smart people in there. Maybe somebody else in the group will answer the question for you. Plus, you can take pictures, send them to me. You can send me your video. You can see what everybody else is doing. You can get ideas. It's a really, really good thing. Guys, until next time, you guys go play, go have fun. I really appreciate it. Thank you very much for watching. I'm Travis. You're watching Upgraded RC. Peace out.